Do you need a degree to be a graphic designer? And it's a very popular question. So today we are going to be talking about designers and education.
Hi guys, today we are back again to the Designer's Diary.
After how many months?
Yeah, like went to figure some things out.
Yeah,
We're bigger and better.
we are bigger. We have bought new microphone.
Since they know they hear word, they must hear word. When you have a sure mic, they believe that everything you say is sure.
Sure, exactly.
You know,
we are
so
buying new microphone.
You
Anyways,
get it.
welcome back to the Diary of Designers. And today we are going to be talking about this is a very important question that I don't know about you, but I get it personally every day. If you go to my YouTube and check the comments, there's a tons of questions like this, and they always ask me, do you need a degree to be a graphic designer? And it's a very popular question. So today we are going to be talking about designers and education, and we'll discuss how we acquired our knowledge today, the processes we took in becoming a designer, and if you necessarily need to go to school and get a degree for you to call yourself a graphic designer.
Yeah, so I think that let's get right straight into it. First of all, I think in Nigeria, people don't believe that going to school at all is something they want to do, because you can literally learn everything from anybody and anywhere. So when you start hearing that somebody went to school to study graphics, basically graphics we studied it in school, but because it's kind of a skill, it's a vocation. So nobody
really took it seriously.
Yeah, it was a serious thing, but you really do not need to go to like a conventional university. But then it's okay if you have access to get a university degree, right? In graphics, it sure will open a lot of opportunities for you.
Definitely.
But I mean, in this part of the country, you really don't need it, right? There are a lot of tons of resources out there that can help you become a graphic designer. But then, I mean, when you get older, you realize that there's some knowledge you actually need
to go
that's
to
beyond that's beyond YouTube. I mean, YouTube is definitely not going to teach you everything, but it's going to teach you something to get.
When I started designing early, I learned everything online, from YouTube to websites and courses that I got online. And I think probably for like the first 2 or 3 years of me being a designer, I didn't know that people actually studied graphic design in university. Because in Nigeria here, I don't think there's any school in Nigeria that offers graphic design as a course.
But polytechnics,
I think it's probably maybe a few polytechnics or maybe private universities.
But it's not that, so they don't even take it serious.
They don't take it serious, and it is extremely rare.
Yeah.
I was watching a designer on YouTube, and she was teaching something. And when she was teaching, she now mentioned that she graduated, that she studied graphic design in college and graduated and got a degree in graphic design. I was like, So people actually study graphic design in school. Yeah. So I think it was after that video, and I went to go and do a little research, and I found out that most abroad universities offer it like a full course, and they take it seriously.
Yeah.
So I feel like from where we came from in Nigeria, it's not very popular. But it is something that is also very important. If you have the access to it.
I took during COVID, there's a diploma I explored on graphics, and it's the things you see there is different from normal YouTube, because they're going to teach you some history, they're going to teach you some systematic process, more like even a science. Some things you don't figure it out. When you design, you say, I'll figure it out. Let me just be designing, it will be fine. No. There are a set of rules that when you add this and add this and add this, you get your results. And when you start designing to that point, you realize that it's true. What somebody that haven't got some experience or some level of knowledge will struggle to do. In few seconds, you figured it out because you've mastered the principle. So most times, once anything is a principle, it means that it's scientific. That means I can transfer that set of knowledge. If I tell you, there's this technique called works all time technique. Right, like where you put a picture, you put a text, the caption, and it works all
every
the
single time.
When you put a picture, you put the text, and then you put, or you flip it, and you put the text, you put the picture, then the rest of the captions. Yeah, it always works. So these are like techniques that they are going to show you. Even in logo design, there are systems in designing logos. You do your research, you figure this out, you combine text, you think of their vision and mission, you know, figure out a way to present it to a particular target audience because of how they behave, so they can relate to it, blah blah blah. So I think if you need education, you really need to get it.
So the bottom line to answer this question is, it may not be very necessary to get a college degree for you to be a graphic designer, but if it's something that you have an access to, just get it. There is no knowledge, there is a waste. But you can start being a graphic designer without necessarily having to go to college or studying it as a degree. But if you can, do it. So now we are going to talk about how we ourselves, how we learned graphic design from the ground up. Why did they laugh like that?
No, I learned graphic design is an interesting one.
I know your mom is a graphic designer.
Yeah, my mom is a graphic designer. She studied fine arts.
His own is inherited.
Yeah, but then I picked interest, I think in her printing press, so there's this guy that was very good. That time, when you design for Abuja people, you are really big. So the guy was so good. He designs for wax. Like, he designs Ankara. Like, you have to be very good
to design
Ankara. Like, he designs Ankara. He designs you see those stickers they paste on Ankara? Those Velisco stickers that you paste on Ankara, High Target and Hollandis and all of that. Now they do those stickers. I'm
always very interested in how they design that.
Bro, this guy is so good.
That thing is always very interesting.
As at 2010, the guy, like, that's when I met him, right? But then they do that thing for the longest of time. He's that good. Very, very great guy. And so he designs for car companies, like their brochures. Imagine how classic brochures are then, like for a car company or whatever. The guy was designing from abroad. Like, he's good. See, so I because I had that proximity, he works for my mom. So things just they blew my head. So fortunately for me, they gave my mom a laptop in the office. That was the end of that laptop.
He took over.
That was the end of that laptop. So that was when I started picking interest. The laptop, I started designing with that laptop, and it happened that I went back to school, no laptop, and my roommates then, he can't go get laptop. That was the end of that laptop. So that laptop only did 2 jobs: play game and do graphics. From there, I mean, the rest is history. From one level of education, experience, shege to another. Do you get?
I think my first exposure to graphic design was these guys that paint billboards.
Yeah.
It was always very interesting to me because I used to help my mom out in the market, and in that market there's a particular place where those people used to stay. So if I'm passing through there, I'll just stay one side and I'll just stand for 30 minutes or so, and I'll just be watching that man. And I'm always very shocked as how does he use that what's it called,
stencil,
razor to cut out cardboard paper step by step. And then when he paints it just comes out perfectly.
A lot of designers now don't meet stencil.
That thing was always...
They don't meet them.
The thing was always very interesting because this man can use razor and cut out a whole drawing of a woman.
Yeah.
And then when he paints on top of it, it just looks perfect.
Yeah.
So that was like my first exposure to graphic design. And then when I went to uni, I was working at a cyber cafe as a typist. So I was using my boss's laptop to learn graphic design. When I first discovered Photoshop was, when back in the day when you buy a new laptop, then you go and buy this disc that had like 13-1 softwares.
Yeah.
So the man bought that disc, and then he got a new laptop. Mad piracy. You just, as I slot in the disc, I installed everything there. One of the things I installed was Photoshop CS6. Back then, CS6.
Yeah, CS6 is
then
one of the oldest.
I got obsessed with CS6, and
you met CS6. I met 7.0.
I was using CS6 for a while, but it was confusing because I didn't know what I was doing. Then I was attending Living Word. Then we went to a prayer camp. Went from Omahia to Owerri for a prayer camp. and I happened to be in the same room with our church graphic designer then. So I sat beside the boy, and the boy was just designing, and I'm like,
It was like a wonder.
It was wonder to me. I think one of the things that made it surprising to me was because his Photoshop that he was using was totally different from the one I was using. So I had to ask him, which one are you using? And I said it was like 2015, 2016, which was miles ahead of CS6 then.
Yeah.
So immediately I got back to I started
10 years
looking.
far.
I started looking for that his own, and I got it, and that was the rest is history. I started every YouTube video, started bombarding YouTube videos, I had this particular website that I discovered that was giving me step by step.
99 design.
No, it's called Photoshop Star.
Okay.
Something like that. So they will give you a particular tutorial. If you click on the tutorial, they'll give you step by step procedure what you should do to get exactly what they decide. So I think I covered almost every tutorial on that page, and that was like my background from learning.
Wow.
Then after that, more courses, more YouTube videos.
More shege.
Is there any course that he will never take? By the time you now learn the basics of graphic design, you now start looking for courses on logo designing, and animation, motion, and
typography,
and everything.
Oh my god! No, it's a lot. You know, when you are looking at it from outside, right? You think it's a joke. You think, do you understand? But when you come inside, you understand that for you to be really good, like you need to have there's some knowledge. Like I said, there's some knowledge that sometimes it's only some books that can expose you to it. Sometimes it's only a particular course, you understand, that can expose you to it. You know, but regardless, whatever education means to you, get it. It's definitely going to make you better.
Whatever form of education that you know that is going to improve you, get it. There's something I always say. I say as designers, get as much skills as possible as you can. It doesn't necessarily have to be on graphic design, but in as much as you need to be very good at designing.
Very good.
But every other side thing that you can get that will make your design career even better, just get it. So if you have, in conclusion, if you have access to the degree as a graphic designer, please go for the degree. Get the degree. If you don't, get as much other information as you can, whether it's courses, whether it's tutorials, whether it's random classes here and there. Just learn as much as you can. There's no knowledge that you get that's a waste.
Thank you very much, everyone, for being with us till this time. Do not forget to tune to the next episode of the Designers Diary, or Diaries of Diary of the Designers. Diary of Designers.
The Diary of
Bros, see you in the next one.